What if I told you that a key player for the Toronto Maple Leafs might not just be a free agent soon, but also has his eyes set on representing Team Canada again? John Tavares recently expressed his disappointment over missing out on the national team, but his comments suggest a strong desire to remain productive and competitive. This could mean big things for the Leafs as they navigate his contract situation. Stick around to find out how this impacts Tavares, the team, and what it means for the future of our beloved Leafs. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button to stay updated with all things Maple Leafs. John Tavares is making headlines once again, and as a passionate Toronto Maple Leafs fan, I can't help but dive into the implications of his recent comments about being left off Team Canada's roster for the Four Nations tournament. Let's break this down and see what it all means for our beloved Leafs. First off, Tavares expressed his disappointment after Hockey Canada informed him that he wasn't selected. It's tough to hear, especially for a player of his caliber. But what stands out is his reaction. He's not ready to hang up his skates just yet. His desire to compete at the highest level is evident, and he's made it clear that he hopes to earn a spot on the national team in the future. This isn't just about one tournament, it's about his legacy and his drive to remain relevant in the NHL. Now, let's consider what this means for his upcoming contract. Tavares is set to become an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, and while some might think that opens the door for a big payday elsewhere, I believe it's more nuanced than that. If he aims to be considered for Team Canada again, he'll need to be productive, and that means playing alongside top-tier talent. In other words, he's likely prioritizing a team environment that can help him thrive. This leads us to the Maple Leafs and their negotiations with Tavares. If he wants to boost his chances of being selected for the national team, he'll want to stay in Toronto, where he can play with superstars like Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and William Nylander. The synergy between these players is undeniable, and Tavares knows that his best shot at staying competitive and being considered for Team Canada lies in playing with elite talent. But what does this mean for his next contract? While it's unclear how low he's willing to go on his average annual value, the fact that he's thinking about playing for Team Canada gives the Leafs an edge. They can use this to their advantage in negotiations, emphasizing the importance of a strong supporting cast to help Tavares maintain his performance levels. Now, let's talk about the emotional aspect of all this. As a fan, I can't help but feel a mix of hope and anxiety. Tavares has been a crucial part of our team, and the thought of him potentially leaving is daunting. But if he chooses to stay, knowing he wants to compete at the highest level, it could signal a commitment not just to the Leafs, but also to his personal goals. It's a delicate balance, and as fans, we need to keep an eye on how this unfolds. So, what do you think? Is this the right path for Tavares? Personally, I'm divided. Part of me wants him to chase that big contract, but another part recognizes that staying with the Leafs could be what he needs to keep his career alive and competitive. I know I'm not alone in feeling this way. The uncertainty of his future is palpable, and I want to hear from you all. What are your expectations for Tavares? Do you think he should stick with the Leafs to enhance his chances for Team Canada, or should he explore other options? I genuinely want to know your thoughts, so drop your opinions in the comments below. Last night's game against the Washington Capitals was a tough pill to swallow for us Toronto Maple Leafs fans. The 3-1 loss stings, but what's even more concerning is the recent criticism aimed at Nick Robertson by coach Craig Berube. It's tough to see a young player struggle, especially when he has so much potential, but right now, it feels like Robertson is at a crossroads. Robertson only logged 9:35 of ice time during that game, and I can't help but feel disappointed. He had just 2 shifts in the third period, which indicates a worrying trend. Berube didn't hold back, admitting that he deliberately didn't put Robertson on the ice when it mattered most. As fans, we want to see our players contribute, and right now, it seems like Robertson isn't able to find his footing. With just 2 points in 23 games this season, it's clear he's struggling to make an impact. I mean, how do we reconcile his past promise with his current performance? I've always believed in the potential of young players, and Robertson was once seen as one of our top prospects. He's had flashes of brilliance, like last season where he managed 14 goals and 27 points in 53 NHL games. However, the inconsistency is troubling. It's hard to watch a player who was once touted to be a game-changer now fighting for ice time. With the return of Max Pacioretty on the horizon and the impending comebacks of Max Domi and Bobby McMann, the competition for forward spots is heating up. I can't help but wonder, where does that leave Robertson? It feels like he's being pushed further down the depth chart, and as a die-hard Leafs fan, that's unsettling. How can he solidify his place on this team if he's not getting the minutes to prove himself? Let's talk about the team's direction for a moment. The Leafs have been making moves to streamline their roster, evident from trading away Timothy Liljegren. They've shown they're willing to part with players who don't fit, and it makes me question if Robertson could be next on the trading block, especially considering his value seems to be at an all-time low. With only 17 goals and 36 points over 110 career games, you have to wonder if other teams see him as a worthwhile investment. It's a tough situation and I'm torn. Do we hold onto Robertson in hopes that he finds his game, or do we look to make a deal that could potentially benefit the team in the long run? You believe in the potential of your young talent, but sometimes it feels like a gamble when the stakes are high, and the team is looking to compete now. What's even more frustrating is the emotional roller coaster we fans go through. We invest so much hope into these players, and when they don't live up to expectations, it can be disheartening. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think the Leafs made the right decision in giving Robertson a shot this season, or should they have considered other options? So, let's open up the floor. What are your expectations for Robertson moving forward? Do you think he can turn it around, or is it time to cut our losses and move on? I want to hear your opinions down in the comments. And remember, if you're passionate about the Leafs like I am, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel for all the latest updates on our beloved team. Activate the notification bell so you won't miss any essential news. Let's keep the conversation going. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and let's hope for better days ahead for Nick and the Leafs.